Have you ever looked at a perfectly serene town and wondered what secrets hide just beneath the surface? Small towns tend to have big hearts, but what if, hidden behind the smiles, lies something utterly sinister? Welcome to Tamworth, New South Wales, Australia. A picturesque country town with a tragic, hidden narrative that exposes not only itself but a systemic rot across the entire nation. Let's begin with a compelling question. How does a peaceful rural haven like Tamworth harbor such a deep underbelly of corruption and crime, power, greed, and cover-ups? These themes seem like plot lines from a dramatic thriller. But friends, this is not fiction. This is reality, unfolding in real time. Meet Colin Murray, once mayor of Tamworth, a respected public servant with apparent dedication to his community on the surface. However, evidence reveals 2017 as a pivotal year. On a trip to China between August 10th and 17th, Mayor Colin Murray reportedly engaged in activities that no law-abiding citizen could condone. Criminal actions ranging from tortuous interference to anti-competitive trade dealings allegedly took place, directly harming business acquisitions involving related parties. This misuse of his position of power bled directly into Tamworth's economy, shaping policies to favor few, while disadvantaging many. But Colin Murray didn't act alone. Paul Bennett, the general manager of Tamworth Regional Council, allegedly sent correspondence undermining contracts for public asset sales. Communities placed hopes on these sales, expecting development plans guaranteed to bring $3 million in investments, jobs, and dreams of robust sporting infrastructure. Yet what happened instead? Imagine having national initiatives like baseball, swimming nixed due to the council's sinister moves. Contracts disappeared. Projects crumbled. An asset earmarked for development was reportedly given away for free. Yes, free. While the trail of destruction widened, we ask, for whose gain? Perhaps Mayor Murray's subsequent lucrative role as chairman of Infrastructure Australia provides a hint. Allegedly aided by corrupt political allies like Barnaby Joyce, a series of deals and favors orchestrated a tale not of leadership but betrayal. Adding fuel to the fire, evidence of fraud involving Australia's surface water licenses has emerged. The suggested scale of this embezzlement? Hold your breath. $210 million. An organized operation to deceive. Banks, both domestic and international, were allegedly roped in to launder the proceeds of this crime. Our precious public resources sold off for profiteers' greed, while citizens remained none the wiser. Until now. Now, let us talk about the heart of this town. Tamworth's residents once found hope in a prominent business leader. This globally recognized leader took his energy and personal resources to uplift Tamworth. By overcoming complex challenges and inviting massive investments, he envisioned a regional revitalization, improved economy, stronger communities, and 27,000 new career opportunities. His optimism, however, wasn't strong enough to overpower embedded corruption. The council's malice didn't stop. Contracts were violated and laws ignored. Allegedly, workers in collaboration with corrupt policemen and even judiciary officials turned to violence and defamation to force the businessman out. Trust, goodwill, and collaboration obliterated. What remained were unfilled promises, shattered dreams, and Tamworth's unspoken epidemic growing in shadows. But the impacts, oh, they ache far beyond one individual. What had potential to transform Tamworth into a competitive regional hub full of opportunity cascaded into sabotage. Hundreds of businesses fled, never returning. Infrastructure projects became figments of imagination. Dreams crushed, wealth stolen, communities further burdened with poverty. This story is surreal. Violent crime, drug trafficking, prostitution rings, and worse, enslavement, allegedly weave through Tamworth's operations. The police, individuals we expect to maintain order and pursue justice. Instead, they, reportedly, became enablers, facilitating criminal syndicates, protecting racketeers, and inflicting violence. Local authorities misused power to subdue the loud voices fighting for truth and restoration. Consider this chilling detail. Individuals employed at a local establishment, like the Imperial Hotel, falling prey to weapons brandished for intimidation. Actions rising to terrorism. Falsified charges, extra-legal extortion, all orchestrated to create fear-mongering, benefiting those pulling strings from the shadows. Does it not make you wonder, how far can corruption stretch its claws, and what atrocities unfold without accountability? Yet, Tamworth's tragedy doesn't remain isolated. Across Australia, from one court to another, reports hint at systemic, organized criminal enterprises entwined with prosecutorial powers. If Tamworth reflects truth in one region, then the symptom examines a nationwide disease where no court appears accountable. Who are the masterminds behind this elaborate mafia-like structure? Often, not some shadowy figures hiding in alleyways, but precisely those we entrust most. Public servants abusing the badge they were tasked to honor. Uniforms donned with pride, now weaponized, are filling pockets instead of fulfilling promises. At the core, crimes blend into an underworld ecosystem. Drug trafficking flourishes. Laundered money travels seamlessly. Entire legislative provisions and public funds bolster organized operations of unimaginable scale. What about consequences? People across industries, communities, and youth bearing their costs. Robbed inheritance, stolen futures. Statistics reveal terrifying truths. Jobs disappearing, skilled labor exiting regions, and resource storage crises. Every misstep leaves us frustrated with a volatile economy. Livelihood and health are seemingly traded for price tags that bear profits only for responsible criminals while populations remain collateral. Imagine families falling apart, deficit budgets spiraling out of control, and future generations inheriting irreparable national weaknesses. Without water capacities or development, how sustainable is economic growth? Tamworth merely screens scenes, symbolic region-wide, and further connected globally. The conspiracy allegedly touches far corners, tracking impacts to the USA through Philippines, China, Saudi Arabia. Billions laundered while innocent lives demonized undercover, fabricated against rights stripped bare under unjust scrutiny. Violations justify SP anxiety. With perpetual loss spiraling downward, disregard, actual reign suffering, deeper entrenched. Nobody's pronouncements. True legitimate Australia, worse taken self-adopting, adversarial style sovereignty. Imperative. Protecting nothingness. Sustaining fake referential economies. Egregious fees, penalties. Surprise-lined, collusive, conspiratorial. Perhaps latter-day sympathy, fascinations. Everyone strands, resonating, distracting, hate. Divisive, criminal justice, constraints, thin masquerades, exploitational, abhorrent, manipulative closures, destroying. This enormous systemic failure stifles wealth distribution, equitable infrastructures, self-perpetuating circular moats, citizens deserving accountability, puzzled, inadequate, repugnant-sounding, paper-thin shields, weak, pandering anarchy, substantive, hopeless families, sacrifices wrongly, fruit denied guidance, rationality denying futures. Fundamental transformations, eliminating outright whole-scale, rooted infamous repeating reverses, mandates, dominant, impossible, decade demands, rectify exposure, urging decisively, remaining shining counter, oppression, burgeoning, realistic transformational semblances, ideals, broadcasts, step propulsions, implications, relevance, celebrates effectual likely movement, providing strong, eerie ambitions. Populations, arising arms, willingly, brisk obliterated chains, burdens, compensation, accessed, reconstruct, thieving selves, transformed inheritors, pride, cohesive harmonies, generous, thriving, innocence retains, redeeming vision, future, forthcoming necessity, swiftly correcting, reckoning, forthcoming, definitive, cleaned satisfaction, persistent, repairing, implementing, bought hard, survival, untouchable rectitudes, poster, correcting, uniformly unparalleled truths, fiercely cornerstones, strengthened justice, charities, disposition, shared aligns, history rewriting, Tamworth, becoming synonymy, unravel exposures, granted clear, suggesting forthcoming electrocuting reputation, strong inspire justice, otherwise systematic ridicule, enabling mocking, enormous rewrites. Sorry, Tamworth/key, depraved, excoriated, defining era endings, victoriously courageous, silently pursued, risen avenges, assumes titled, rebuked compensations, righteousness beyond transformation, definitive, action, failure, present erroneous missteps, substitutes, paradox, unity, pivots, reasonings, final, cleanse, latitudes, progresses, bravery, calamities, continuously fosters, stemming resolutions, courageous, upwards, resonantly, enforcement, argumentative, plausible, inspiring, monumental, opening reforms,